So here is DWAC, Digital World Acquisition Corp, or Truth Social. This finishes at $86.31 today. That is up 21.77%. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe and catch me every weekday after market close on the Smarter Gambling Show. So here is BBIG Vinco Ventures. This finishes at $5.19 today. That is up 27.52%. So we've been discussing this stock for the past week. This has been on an absolute run, definitely squeezing. And once again, this was trending number 1 on StockTwits today, so we'll cover it again. So there really wasn't any news to justify this price action today. So again, it just seems like social media really driving this stock here. A lot of apes piling in, pumping the stock up, and squeezing the shorts out. So let's go ahead and analyze. So we do have multiple gap downs here, a triple gap down. First gap down is at 950. Second gap down is at 750, and the third gap down is at 585. So those are all bullish indicators that is telling us this stock should eventually come back up to fill all of those gaps. This also looks like a cup and handle in the making here. Top of the cup being around $9 and the bottom being around $2.15. So that is currently a bullish indicator that is telling us this stock should run back up to $9 eventually to complete this cup. And in the aftermarket here, this is running up to 530. So that is a bullish indicator that is telling us this stock will probably continue to run to the upside tomorrow as well. We also have 2 gap ups, one made today at 425. So that's a bearish indicator that is telling us this stock should pull back to 425 eventually to fill that gap, maybe in the short term. And then we have one way back here at around 160. So at this point, that looks pretty unlikely that gap will fill, but it is very noteworthy. So just pay attention to that, guys. Gap up 160, bearish indicator. And if you guys want to follow along, the link to the chart is in the description down below. So right now this is trading between the sideways channel, the rectangle of 535 and 515. So if this goes to the upside, next levels of resistance would be 535, 555, 585, $6, 620, 650, 680, 705, 730, 765, 795, 815, 835, 870, 910, 940, 965, $10, 1040, 1105, 1190, and then the high of 1250. And if this goes to the downside, next levels of support would be 515, 485, 460, 425, 405, 375, 350, 330, 315, 295, 265, 250, 225, 215, 195, 175, 160, 135, and then the low of 120. So right now at this current price, 520, the channels to the upside are pretty wide. So if this continues to run to the upside, expect a significant amount of price action, which is great for the bulls. And to the downside, the channels are also pretty wide up until 350. So from this price, 520 down to 350, expect significant price action. But if/when this breaks 350 to the downside, expect a regular amount of price action. RSI is currently at 79, so this is pretty overbought and pretty overvalued at the moment, guys, so be careful. And this did 275 million in volume today. Very significant volume, averages 18 million, so this pump/squeeze today was confirmed by the volume. Okay, guys, so just my opinion, not financial advice. This is definitely still in the middle of a short squeeze here. And it does appear like it's not over just yet. There does still appear to be more upside potential. This may go back up to $9 to complete the cup, and maybe even over $9.50 to fill this gap. That being said, things are looking pretty dangerous at this point, so be very careful, guys. If you want to go long, not financial advice. In the short term, at this point, it does look like a gamble, I have to say. Again, this probably still has more upside potential, but we are starting to get some pretty bearish indicators here now, high RSI, high volume, and we have a gap up now. So I would not be surprised if this does pull back to 425 and lower in the short term. But again, it still appears like the squeeze is not over. So I could support going along here at 520. Just understand you already missed a lot of tendies, and at this point it is somewhat of a gamble. Personally, I wouldn't go for it. Too risky for my liking at this point. But if you want to go for it, sure. Just understand you are gambling at this point. Longer term, this definitely looks like a good buy. Maybe not yet, because like I said, it should pull back to 425 eventually. But in the longer term, this definitely should come back up to $9 and $9.50, possibly higher, to fill all those bullish indicators there. And 520 would still be a pretty good entry for the long term. Now, if you want to go short, not financial advice, I would not do that, and I would not recommend that, just yet at least. Like I said, this appears to be still squeezing, not over just yet, still more upside potential. So I would hold off for right now. I would just observe the price action and wait until this starts to pull back and starts to lose volume and momentum, then come in and short. I really can't say when it's going to be, but eventually this will have to pull back, and it's going to pull back really hard, just as fast as it went up. So I don't like the entry of 520 on the short side, but again, just hold off for a little bit, be patient. If you can catch this at the top of the squeeze, that would be an excellent short play. You just got to time it right. Gonna be fun to see how this goes. Good luck to all the apes. Congratulations to everyone who made money in the stock today, and good luck to everyone currently in the stock and to everyone looking to take a position. This is BBIG Vinco Ventures. So here is AMC. This finishes at $18.84 today. That is down 8.41%. So we've been talking about AMC for the past few weeks here. It's been pulling back pretty hard, slowly bleeding every day, not good. And today we have another significant drop. This was trending number 2 on StockTwits today after BBIG, so we'll discuss it. And there really was no reason as to why this dropped so much today. The overall market did go down a lot, so that definitely was a big factor. But it just really seems like people are taking their profits, and the shorts are starting to come back in here. So a whole year later, and the war is not over yet between the apes and the shorts. But yeah, let's go ahead and analyze here. So we do have a gap up here at 1650. So that's a bearish indicator. That is telling us the stock may pull back down to 1650 eventually to fill that gap. This also looks like a possible bear flag. No confirmation just yet, but this does look like a bear flag is forming. And if it is in fact a bear flag, that's a bearish indicator that is telling us the stock may break out to the downside. This looks like a possible cup and handle here. Top of the cup being around 29. And no bottom to the cup yet, but that would be a bullish indicator because that is telling us this stock may run back up to 29 to complete this cup here. And if you guys want to follow along, the link to the chart is in the description down below. So right now this is trading between the sideways channel, the rectangle of 2035 and 1855. So if this goes to the upside, next levels of resistance would be 2035, 2245, 2435, 2535, 2675, 2785, 2895, 3090, 3195, 3365, 3480, 3605, 3760, 39, and then 4020. There is resistance above 4020, but we're not going to discuss that right now. And if this goes to the downside, next levels of support would be 1855, 1730, 1650, 1410, 1295, $12, 1090, 985, and then 890. There is support below 890, but we're not going to discuss that right now. So right now at this current price, 1885, the channels to the upside and the downside are pretty wide, so expect significant price action either way this goes. However, if/when this breaks 2435 to the upside, the channel starts to narrow, and if this breaks 1410 to the downside, the channel starts to narrow. So from 2435 down to 1410, expect significant price action, which is where we are right now. RSI is currently at 25, so that is oversold and undervalued. So this could be a good buying opportunity, not financial advice. And this did 56 million in volume today, which is below average. So this sell-off today was not confirmed by the volume. So we've been covering this stock for the past few weeks, and really, my opinion has not changed, so it's going to be more or less the same. If you want to go long, not financial advice, 1885 does appear to be a pretty good entry, but personally, I do think it will eventually pull back to at least 1650 to fill the gap, and maybe even lower. Personally, I would set my buy orders to 1650, and it may even pull back to 1410 because that's the next support after. It may not come back down there, and if it doesn't, that's okay. But there's a very real possibility this does come back down to 1650 and lower. So couldn't blame you if you want to go long at 1885. Pretty good entry. I could support that. But personally, I would go long at 1650 and lower. And if it pulls back below 1650, then you can just average down at these supports that I mentioned before. Now, if you want to go short, not financial advice, I would not do that, and I would not recommend that. This is already pulled back very significantly. You're really late to the party if you want to go short here. I mean, there still is downside potential. Probably over a 10 or 15% downside here if this does pull back to 1650, but I really don't think the risk is worth the reward going short here. You missed your chance already. Going short here would be a high risk, low reward play. There's not too much downside potential, and you'd be exposing yourself to a lot of upside risk. So, doesn't really make too much sense going short here, so I would not do that, and I wouldn't recommend that. However, if you do decide to go short, I would say cover at 1650. So, sorry to everyone who lost money in the stock today. But like I said, could be a good buying opportunity coming up here. Not financial advice. And good luck to everyone currently in the stock and to everyone looking to take a position. This is AMC. So here is DWAC, Digital World Acquisition Corp, or Truth Social. This finishes at $86.31 today. That is up 21.77%. So we've been talking about this stock for the past week. This has been going on a run here. So really no news to justify this price action. Just speculation on my part here. It appears like this is a buy the rumor play here because we have a catalyst coming up next month in February where the Truth Social platform will officially launch. I think a lot of apes are jumping in here in anticipation for that catalyst to happen. But while they're jumping in here, buying the stock up, shorts are getting squeezed out. So this is like low-key short squeezing right here. So let's go ahead and analyze. So this does look like a possible cup and handle in the making here. Looks like the top of the cup could be 120 or the high of 175. And the bottom would be 37.65. So that is currently a bullish indicator that is telling us that this stock may keep running up to 120 or 175 to complete this cup. There's also a gap up way back here at 950. So that's a bearish indicator. That is telling us this stock may pull back down to 950 eventually to fill that gap. And at this point, it looks really unlikely, but worth mentioning. Keep that in mind, guys. Gap up 950, bearish indicator. And in the aftermarket here, this is pulling back down to 83.50. So that's a bearish indicator. That is telling us this stock probably will pull back tomorrow. And if you guys want to follow along, the link to the chart is in the description down below. So right now, this is trading between the sideways channel, the rectangle of 87.10 and 83.30. So if this goes to the upside, next levels of resistance would be 87.10, 94.10, 120, and then the high of 175. And if this goes to the downside, next levels of support would be 83.30, 74.60, 70.20, 67.50, 63.10, 60.05, 55.50, 51.15, 48.45, 44.70, 40.90, 37.65, 16.50, 12.75, 10.65, and then the low of 9.45. So right now at this current price, 86.30, the channels to the upside are really wide. So if this continues to run to the upside, expect significant price action, which is a great thing for the bulls. But to the downside, if/when this breaks 74.60, the channels start to get narrow, so expect a significant decrease in price action if/when this breaks 74.60 to the downside. RSI is currently at 75, so that is overbought and overvalued, so be careful, guys. And this did 27 million in volume today, pretty significant volume, so this pump/squeeze today was confirmed by the volume. So here's another stock that we've been discussing the past week, and really my opinion has not changed, so more or less the same here. Like I said earlier, this does appear to be a buy the rumor, sell the news event. So what that means is I think this will continue to run to the upside for the next month until the Truth Social platform actually launches. Once it does, I expect this to pull back very significantly. And this is getting into pretty dangerous territory right here. So if you want to go long, not financial advice, you already missed a lot of attendees. Should have went long a week ago. That being said, this probably will continue to run for the next month. Not sure how high it's going to go, but there does appear to be more upside potential. So I could support going long here at 86.30, but just understand at this point this is getting pretty dangerous and it is somewhat of a gamble. So personally, I wouldn't go for it right now. Too risky for my liking, but if you guys want to go for it, sure. Just understand it is getting dangerous and it is gambling at this point. Now, if you want to go short, not financial advice, I would not do that and I would not recommend that just yet. Again, I think it's going to keep running to the upside in the next month. So I would hold off on the short side for right now. Wait until this is around launch day and the stock looks like it's topping out and wants to reverse. Not sure what price that's going to be, but if you hold off for the next month, you should be able to get a really good price on the short side. So I don't like the entry of 86.30, but be a little patient and you should be able to get a much better price. Like I said, once launch day happens, this should pull back pretty significantly. So a lot of 10 needs to be made to the downside if/when that happens. So pretty straightforward here, guys. Buy the rumor, sell the news event, in my opinion. So congratulations to everyone who made money in the stock today, and good luck to everyone currently in this stock and to everyone looking to take a position. This is DWAC, Digital World Acquisition Corp, or Truth Social. Thanks everyone for watching today. I appreciate you guys. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe and catch me every weekday after market close on the Smarter Gambling Show. You apes already know, diamond hands to the moon. I'm Ty. This is Smarter Gambling. See you guys tomorrow. Peace out.